Bold TV.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, online viewers. Welcome to another episode of Bold TV. Beautiful, outstanding ladies with disabilities, where we talk about issues on disabilities or related to disabilities. This program is brought to us live by Bold Heart Initiative every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. with different episodes concerning disabilities on how we live and how we go through it in a successful way. If you enjoy this program and you want to participate, you can call on the co-hosts that are always there every Saturday. So you can subscribe to our YouTube page, like and comment on our Facebook page so that it can go wide. So today I have in the house, I have my co-host and also a guest. But before I go deeply into our topic, I would like the co-hosts to introduce themselves.
My name is Oluwatomisin Adeyefa. I'm a broadcast journalist. I am a gender and disability rights advocate, the executive director of Purple Abilities Foundation for Women and Girls with Disabilities, a co-host on Bold TV, and I'm a visually impaired person who is based in Abeokuta.
Good morning, everyone. So my name is Oluwakemi Odusonya, a visually impaired lady based in Lagos and the founder of Eagles Voice International for Disability Rights. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Reki Andresian. I'm based in Port Harcourt in Rivers State. And I'm the ED of Faithcare Foundation, a member of Bold Heart Initiative. Outstanding for Asaki. So we thank our guest Kemi for coming in and Asaki for being a co-host. So the topic for today is Beyond Charity, Disability as a Strength. Beyond Charity, Disability as a Strength. And I'll just ask the ladies, when you hear that, what comes to mind? Beyond charity, disability as a strength.
Okay, so when I hear the word beyond charity, disability as a strength, it comes to me that disability is not a pity party. Sometimes we cannot but get get treated in a charitable manner, especially in a society where we live in, where plans, are being made on a daily as events unfold and all of those things. However, putting aside the charity treatments we get, it also means that as persons with disabilities lies so much abilities, so much potential that could also be harnessed to contribute to help develop the society. Lies, things within us that when we bring it to the table, when it is being harnessed, like I said, it gives more to either the person who is with the disability and to everyone around the person who is with the disability. So it means that disability can be relied on, disability can be put forward, disability can be tapped into. It's a potential that can be tapped into to generate strength either for the person or for those around them, and also help them contribute their own quota meaningfully to growth and development around them.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomasin, for that contribution. And she has said that looking at the topic, beyond disability, beyond charity, the strength of disability, she recognized the importance of charity, the importance of it. She spoke to the realities of disability not just being hinged on charity, but that there's more to it. So I'll ask Osaki, who's back, to introduce herself. And after introducing herself, speak to the topic and then go on as a co-host.
All right, thank you, Frekit. I'm Osaki Teresa Georgie. I reside in Port Harcourt, River State, polio warrior, a freelancer and a farmer. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm your co-host at the same time. Today's topic is Beyond Charity, See Disability as Strength. People's disability and charity looks like disability has a weakness. It's not. It's just there. It's a way of how one can succeed. And the topic today is charity because it's in commemoration of the commemoration of International Day of Charity, and that stands for the passing away of Mother Teresa. So she's a very good representative when it comes to charity. You see how she did that charity, cut across. You could see the love, you could see help. You could see the independence she wants in humanity, the selfless service, and trying to see how she can bring out the dignity of every person in respect of your status, whether less or whatever. She could make sure that there's life, there's strength in everybody. So that's why she was recorded and symbol of charity, which is the showing of love and selfless service to humanity. If I'm going to go through charity is love, it's kindness, it's seeing the other person's potential without bias or seeing you see independence on how one can live life independently no matter the situation at hand. So I'll go deeply and fast into there are various ways of how we can do this charity without reducing the person's life because we want to help. Because I can remember vividly, I grew up in a home for children with disabilities and physical disability anyway. And in that home, what we are taught was independence. So they believe in maximum education and how you can live a life without a problem that's seeing your disability, but seeing the strength you have in us. So we have visitors that come. We have different kinds of visitors. And majority of them, we have the seasonal ones that come during Christmas and they just drop rice and they go. But we still have those other visitors that comes and live with us. Like they have routine, they have days, they have months they come and they share things. And some of them wants to know how far we are coping with our life, how we are independent. And not like our school is only September now. They want to check our books, get our school uniforms, pay our fees. So they see life as norm and as okay, as with all there's independence in it. So I'll speak on education. When you want to see how you can uplift the other person or bring the other person, you can also do it in a way of educating the person. Information is being passed. So that kind of disability can be also be, that kind of charity can also be appreciated and shared amongst us with disability. So Tommy, I'd like you to talk on how we can accept charity, not in a pity way, but a form of trying to see how you can help us through life.
Okay, so thank you very much. Like I said, because of our peculiarity, we cannot, completely excuse ourselves from charity, from receiving with kindness from people around us, from the government, from, family, loved ones, friends, and things like that. However, there is this principle I stumbled on when you want to give help to persons with disabilities, and it is the principle of aloha. And I feel like if we can imbibe that into our charity giving and charity receiving, it would be a lot better. And the principle of aloha is a 5-letter word. The first A stands for ask. So sometimes it's always very difficult to ask a person with disability if they actually need help. The kind of help we're offering is the kind of help they need, because we assume a lot of times that, this is what this person needs. This is what will make life better for this person, forgetting that these are humans too and should be given that opportunity to tell you what they want, because you are not wearing that shoe. You don't know exactly where it pinches. And so asking, how can I help? Where do you need help? How do you want me to help you? Is one very good principle right there. The L in the aloha means listen. Now, as persons with disabilities, a lot of times when we have persons with disabilities, tell them where they need help, we don't listen. We just want to assume, I just want to help. I just want to, that kindness is just within us. We just want to do good. Let me put it that way. And so sometimes if you don't listen, you don't know exactly how to come in, even though you have that kind heart, even though you have the plan, even though you feel like you know that this person needs this thing. I hear you talk about education the other time, and I said to myself that at what point do you stop offering education? As a means of help to someone with a disability. It means that you must have, done a study or a survey, or you must have asked, you must have listened to what they have to say, so you know where to come in with your kind of help. Or in aloha means observe. So when you listen, you also observe. You don't just jump into it like, because I want to help, I want to be seen as a nice person, I want to do this. The Bible, the Quran asked me to do it. It is part of the palliative we're giving out to pushing the effects of the pandemic and so many effects. So you also observe, and then you actually go on to help. And when you are done helping, the last A says, ask again, because it's always very good to have feedback. That way, you know that when you are coming back with your help, if the same measure or the same model or the same parameters you've used, has worked and has been able to achieve something. These are simple things that we can even apply, even in offering assistance to a person with disability on the road. It's as minute as that, It's as minute as, wanting to help someone cross the road. I've seen a lot of times people want to help you cross the road and then they just pull you. They don't even talk. They don't listen to you when you say, oh, excuse me, that's not. They just assume, maybe it is help, I want to help you. Receive this help in peace and go your way. So if we are all able to imbibe this principle in, giving out charity, in being helpful, in being kind, it will definitely go a long way. It means that you're not just doing charity for charity's sake. You're not just doing charity because you want to be nice, but you're also doing charity that has impacted where you want it to impact on. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tomisin, for that great illustration of Aloha in trying to ensure that charity that is portrayed for persons with disabilities is really beyond the issue of pity. And we see the strength so that even in offering kindness, we do not diminish a person.
Thank you very much, Frankie. Thank you very much, Tomisin, for that great contribution. Okay, our speaker, guest was Kemi. Still on that same question. Thank you. Kemi.
All right, thank you very much. From my angle, I would tilt in the angle of Tomisin that talks about asking. So one major point for me about charity is the fact that there is no asking first. So by not asking, it then becomes like more of a charitable model. Now, for instance, in the part of Nigeria or the country where I come from, where religious is really amplified, it rings a loud bell, and you see some people, they feel that, because they want their prayers to be answered, faster, then the charity then comes in. They go to give beggars, they go to give alms, unsolicited, either financial resources or what have you. So that's where I feel that charity comes in. However, to give charity without it looking like it's really charity is when you do what the development space will call need assessment. Make a survey, and that's where asking come to be. Make a survey to find out what exactly do they need. Then when you begin to review what the gap is, you then begin to say, okay, do I really have the solution to come in and imagine meet, let's say, Peter really wants to go to school and he doesn't have the means, but he has this passion for education. And you say, Peter, would you like to go back to school? And say, yes, I would like to go back to school. Okay. And you then say, you know what, I'm going to sponsor you. Remember, Peter is actually a person with disability, right? And you'll be like, oh, Peter, okay, I will sponsor you. Peter will be happy. At that point, it's not charity, it's like a support. It's like, you're meeting the needs of Peter at that point. Maybe another person might count it as charity, but at that point, it's a positive vibe that is meeting the need of Peter because you've done a need assessment, you've asked, and Peter has been able to say this is what he needs, and you're able to support him. So that's where I feel that when you begin to support, at that point, it doesn't look charitable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kemi. So, Frankie, want to hear your own voice still on that issue.
I think, thank you, Osaki. I think you've already come, and I agree with everyone who has spoken with respect to knowing the needs before stepping in to provide your benevolence. But I think at the end of the day, if human dignity is lost when you are portraying your benevolence, if at the end of the day the motive is so that you feel better, irrespective of how that person feels at the end of the day, by the end of the day it is about making yourself look good, then you haven't done even what the holy books say. It's now you put yourself at the center, meaning that because in the charity model that Kemi spoke to, what happens in that space is that the person with disability is anchored as the object of pity, the object of help. That person is positioned in a lower level, and where you would forever be above that person. If that is a constant posture in offering charity, then you haven't done too well. So I'll ask everyone who is offering one form of charity or the other, before you go ahead, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Second would be to really ask the person what the needs would be, so that it would be a need that is met indeed through kinds of acts of kindness. And the other thing that I would say is to avoid assumptions. Assumptions are one thing that shroud persons who want to support the disability community. Once you see a person with disability, you have made the assumption that that person meets ABC. And this also happens for persons with disabilities in the disability community. I'll give an instance. I had a team come to visit me in the office, and after that, one or two women came and said, I have one person, she's blind. Can you help her? And I kept asking, what is the help that the person requires? They were not able to answer the question. They don't want to say, I have an amputee. She needs help. What is this help required? And there was no answer for the help required. And one of the girls that was mentioned, or the ladies that was mentioned, called me the next day. I was like, I'm on your way to the office. I told her, and I asked her a simple question. As you head to my office, what is the focus of conversation that is about to be had? She said, I don't know, my auntie said I should come and meet you. I said, wow, no, let's not do that. I told her, let's not do that. Let me not do this fuel that is high like this. Let's not waste people's transport. We'll have a conversation on the phone. We'll talk about different things. Don't worry about what your auntie feels you need or not, you don't need, and things like that. And she understood because she was feeling stressed. It was, in fact, the journey to come to me was stressing her. So I told her, no, don't start it. Just be there. We can have conversations on the phone and get to a good place. So to wrap up this, my long ranting, I'm just saying that if your form of charity is only coming from a place of pity and not empathy, it's not motivated by selflessness, it's not motivated by a need to be met, it's not motivated by assumptions, and then you'll begin to do well. And finally, speaking to systems, we need to see not just charity, but let's begin to see social support. Let's begin to see social services as in part of the rights of persons with disabilities, social protection. And those forms of charities are most welcome. Preferring love, because charity, at the end of the day, charity is love. If you rob a person of the person's dignity, you have not done well. I've seen where people want to distribute food and then dignity is thrown out of the window and persons with disabilities are treated as animals just because you are offering 5 packs of Indomie or I don't know. I'm not demeaning your help, but one that is thrown, you now treat human beings as less than human. Man, that's terrible. So always also remember human dignity. As Osaki said, thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that great contribution. I know out there someone is listening and someone is learning. With or without disability, someone's trying to get what it all takes to be charitable with dignity and not in a pity state. So we're trying to wrap up this episode, but now we want to share our own story because we are not just always on the receiving end, we also give back. So when this charity is given to us, we also give back to the public, either with disabilities or without disabilities. And all of us here in this episode, one way or the other, have given back charity. So we would like to share our stories on how we did it and how it was dignifying with respect. That's to see that we with disabilities also give back. It's a support system. It's a way. It's a two-way. It's a win-win solution. So I would like by saying my own story because there was a day I went to the hospital. I know because I use crutches, I'm allowed to enter the hospital anytime without checking. They just feel that I'm a patient, and sometimes I enjoy it and I just laugh because the hospital has time to enter and not to enter. They'll tell you it's not visiting hour, this is whatever hour, So one fine day, I wanted to support a lady that maybe has a financial issue or whatever, but I want to just see how I can support to pay a bill. So I got to the clinic, I got to the hospital. The reception was okay, no stress. They didn't even check me, they didn't even ask me, and I knew that was like off hour. And I boldly entered because they just felt because I'm on crutches, I'm a patient. So I didn't even bother. So then I went to the women's ward and met the matron, whoever is in charge, that I want to do some donations. And they were like, who do I know? I said, nobody there. This is someone that I can assist, that I can just see how I can help to edit charity to our own situation. And they were impressed. They are so happy, like, yes, that is not something. It's to me, it's hospital call. So I need to just go there and do 1 or 2 donations and help someone out. And also in that scenario, I was with a friend. I was in a shopping mall, and the friends were like, "Hey, how nice! It's been a while." We chatted pleasantries. I just okay. Now going out of the supermarket, she was carrying my stuff. So I know in her mind, they're like, how do she assist me? So we got to the car park, and I asked her where she going to. She said she called the place, which was my way. I said, okay, let's go. She's like, how? I said, there's a car in front of you, let's go. She's like, do you drive? I said, yes. So you see, that was nice, that was good. And we all hopped in and I dropped her where she wanted to go. And that was fine. So you see that it's not just we receiving, but also we give charity too. So Tommy, I would like you to jump on that, share your own story. As a one with disability, how you have shared how you're doing your own charity and a dignified way, and you are happy and the person was happy too.
Okay, so for me, charity is like a second day job. Like, this is practically what I do. I work in the development space. I mean, member of so many organizations for and of persons with disabilities, and also member of so many organizations for and of persons without disabilities. And so, trying to meet people at the point of their need is one very, very major daily task for me. In fact, as we are here, Seth, well, it's also a form of charity because we are spreading out information, we're giving moral support to other women with disabilities. And so, depending on how you want to look at it, we're also being charitable on Bold TV. And one experience that has, stuck with me in recent times was earlier in April when a group of friends and myself just, went into the school for children with disabilities, and we looked at what they needed, and then we saw that a lot of them were without writing material. So we went into our personal pockets to say, yeah, we're going to provide writing materials for these children. Now, the thing about this was that it was a school for children with disabilities, and they were used to persons without disabilities coming in to donate to the kids. That was what they were used to. And so seeing persons with disabilities like these children coming to say, oh, we want to support these children, it was exciting. You could see the excitement on the staff, the non-teaching, the teaching staff, even the kids. It was different from what they were used to. And that for me just made me realize that, yes, sometimes we want to get, and then we forget that, oh, we could also be a source of strength. We could also be a source of, exchange to other persons around us, be it persons with disabilities and persons without disabilities. And this, for me, just further amplifies the topic of today, that beyond charity, there is strength in what we call impairment, what we call disability and things like that. So that's one experience that has stuck with me. And sometimes, when I get, so these days, rice is one thing that is flying around. And when I get this rice and I look at it and I'm like, okay, who else needs this rice in my community, maybe in the area where I live? And then I, reach out to those that I feel would need or would be more beneficial to these food items than I would. I've had it in the rumor mills that doesn't that auntie knows that she needs the rice, And then I'm like, yeah, truthfully, I need the rice. But when you put it on a scale, I think some people need them more than I do. And so I recognize that fact in my community, and I'm willing to let it go. Not because I don't need them, but because I feel like, oh, these persons are in need of them more than I do. And so that's just the spirit of giving. You give without borders, you give without, wanting anything in return. You give even when it's not very convenient. My grandmother would say, someone that has 100 naira and you cannot give 10 naira out of that 100. If you have 1 million naira, you cannot donate 100,000. It's as simple as that when it comes to giving. So I have imbibed that culture within me, sharing and caring for people around me, whether they are with disabilities or not.
All right, thank you very much, Tomisi, for that great contribution. So see disability as strength, because we also do charity. Kemi, please jump on that, share your own experience as a lady with disability, your strength in your charity that you do.
Okay, thank you very much. So for me, when it comes to the charity, I might say I do more unintentionally of non-financial charity than that of financial charity. So what I mean in that aspect is, for instance, I find a need in my community and say, okay, this individuals, they've identified that they need or they lack this capacity, and I look within my strength, within my resources to see how best can I be of help to them, conduct capacity building, conduct trainings, conduct workshops and all that. And at the end of it all, we both are fulfilled. Now, for instance, there was this training I think I conducted in 2023, and there was this lady that just got blind in 2020, and I was like, wow, so people are still getting blind in COVID here. And she found it very challenging to mainstream back to the society because she was in university in the, science department, I think med laboratories, something in that aspect. And she found it very challenging. Then we had to do rehabilitation for her. I trained her. And at the end of it all, when she sat down to write her JAMB again, that's the entrance examination into the tertiary institute, she came out with top colors, 319. For a visually impaired person who never, who never knew that there was a community that she could advance into. So that kind of thing is a fulfillment to me and is a fulfillment to her. I did not necessarily need to give her cash, and at the end of it all, her life got back to shape. Then another aspect is financially. Yes, I've in one way or the other contributed back to, there was this little guy who, since when they gave birth to him, since year 1 till now he's 10 years old, he has not gone back to school. And I got to know of recent and they started the journey of going back to school, partially school, and they wrote out the list, what he needs to get. And funnily, when the parents started talking to me, they never knew that I was a visually impaired, or I am a visually impaired person. And at the time, I was able to contribute financially for him to go back to school. They were like, wow, like really? You mean you cannot see and you're doing all this? And I'm like, so you see that the perspective of people, really needs to change. So I've, in my little corner, been able to do both financial and non-financial way of affecting people's life. In that aspect, I don't call it charity. I just call it as a means to an end of touching people's life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kemi, for that great contribution. Okay. Beyond charity, see disability as strength. And that will be Freki to share her story, because I know her too well. I know what her foundation does. I know what she does personally. But I'd like her to share it on our own Both TV. Let's hear our own side of the story that she has been doing extremely well. Freki.
Exactly. Where do we begin the story from? I don't know. So, because it will be here, we'll be here forever. Okay, so
begin somewhere and finish on time.
Because I don't even know what to share. This is but what I've noticed, is that when you step out of yourself to be a support, whether you call it charity or whatever it is you want to call it, to another person, a person with disability, a person without disability, see it as adding value. Don't see it as something that you are. Don't allow pride to enter. Don't allow big manism. Don't attach anything more than an opportunity to impact and add value to the life of another person. I have too many stories of lives changed for little acts, even before becoming a person with disability or acquiring a disability. My life motto, is doing the little extra to the ordinary to make it extraordinary. Doing the little. I really believe that a little goes a very long way. A little goes a very long way. And a lot of people just need a little to be able to go that extra mile. Too many stories. Too many. So I don't even know where to start. I mean, the day before yesterday, I was on the sick bed and this call kept coming. I was like, who is calling? I can't be called. I can't even talk. And the person kept insisting, and the person now called, and the thing was crackling, and the person was like, we were just in the background trying to speak English and tap pidgin and another language. I was like, what is happening here? All the person was trying to say was thank you. I was like, what are you thanking me for? Basically, the person's life had changed. We did a cucumber farming training in their community. That has been how that man, for persons with disability, and that has been how that man is still sustaining his family till today. After that, the life cut. Then another person now called. I said, yeah, welcome. Like, let's move on. Nothing happened, So, what I'm just saying is that where you can find way to do good and move on. Don't do it and then like this person is very ungrateful. Sometimes some would not want people to now roll on the floor, enter. Do good and go. God will bless you. That's all I can say. So if you want to know more about what personally as a platform, and really at the end of the day, it was that need for a structured platform to take the passion of helping people, because that's also been a personal motto. That's one of the pillars of why we have Fake Foundation. Of course, through development, because you can't see my 1 naira like that. But you will get charity in bounds and leaps, So you can check Fake Foundation and really through Bold TV as well. So I even found that persons, because of, just like Tommy said, because of how much we do, I think people sometimes even forget. You forget that you're a person with disability or that you even need help. I'm telling you, they forget. They actually forget and all that. So do good where you can. That's what I'll say. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that great contribution. So you've heard from their own mouths, not just story, not just what you read from the horse's mouth, which is great. So I like what you said is an opportunity to make an impact. That opportunity was a strong word, which is very, very intellectual, very good. So I think we've learned, and we've gotten something that beyond charity, see the disability as strength. So that will wrap up for today's episode. So I don't know if there's any other thing you want to say. If I can say anything.
I think the only thing I want to say is for persons with disabilities who have intentionally decided to hang their lives on the welfare that others would bring, you're doing yourself a disservice, because really life is beyond the peanuts. Life is very big. So see yourself as more than a human being. Will only give you what they have. They can't give beyond what they choose to give you. So if as a person with disabilities you have decided that me and this one touch, one go, that's all, I'm just saying it's not okay. Finally, if you're a person with disabilities and you never thought that you can be on the other end, like we have said, where you actually, people think that you need to have so much to give. That's not true. It's not true. It's not true. So just let's change the concepts that we have as persons with disabilities as what charity is, because it's actually deeper when it's done properly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Like I must say, I think I'm one of the beneficiaries of Feke Foundation, and I am giving back to other persons with disabilities and so also those without disabilities. That we're saying, when you receive, you learn to give back to somebody else. So that's a good one. So I would like this in the house to please let's mute our mic. I'll not forget our online viewers. I want to say thank you very much for always be there for us. So ladies in the house, let's say charity before I start wrapping up for today's episode.
What should say?
What did you say? Charity. Maybe do a count 1 to 3 or something else.
It's not going to go simultaneously.
When I'm saying cha, someone will be saying re, another will be re.
All right, Joe. 1, 2, 3, go. Beyond
charity.
Wait. Is it beyond charity or charity? Which one are we saying?
Charity. I don't know. Osaki?
Charity. Beyond charity. So we can just do it together again. Who's counting?
1, 2, 3, go. Beyond
charity.
So thank you very much. Thank you.
This is Bold TV.